Yeah, absolutely, man. I would actually recommend artists, if they're preparing for a live show, man, if they know a DJ, to contact them, and if they would actually program their set, that would be even better as
Right.
well.
Right.
Because a DJ, they're already in the element. They kind of know what's going to work, what's not going to work. They have transitions, blends, and
Right.
drops, time, and they can definitely get that right for you, man. And so if you know a DJ, I would definitely encourage artists or even producers, man, to actually you consult them, in preparation for a performance, So
yeah, man.
On the head.
Yeah, appreciate that. Yeah, next show you do, hit me up, if you want to listen to your set list or whatever.
Absolutely.
But yeah, tempos is another thing, because you can start out with like really fast songs or start out slow and build up, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or alternate. It's kind of like the treadmill. Like you can do a turn up, then vibe. Turn up. And then, a very lyrical, chill them out and jump back in. Because when I DJ, it's like an art form. I'm like Beethoven. I'm orchestrating. I'm taking a journey, especially in the clubs, man, because I have like I build them up so high, right? And then I'll just, what's this, Post Malone. I'm sussing. I'll jump out. They're vibing, they get their drink, and then I'll turn them back up, and then I'll do a reggae set, because I see a bunch of women. They love to dance to reggae or, Afrobeat and stuff like that. Yeah. So it's all related. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the buzzword that you hit was journey. It's carrying them on a journey from start to finish. And that's, I think you hit it on the head, and that could be a 30-minute set, an hour set, 15 minutes, or 5 minutes. What kind of experience do you want them to have within that time, man? And man, absolutely.
Drop that verse, man.
Let me see, man. I may end up messing up, man. Forever being forever true. Should I mix the apple juice flow with the absolute? Absolutely. Unruly, you never knew me. The kid that stood up to bullies, I'm grown, I'm an opportunist. Subscribe to the street code, I never opt to tune it. Opted out when the bullet shot through my mama house, that's why I play dumb to the dumb what you talking about?
That was perfect. You actually edited the curse word. That's skills, man.
Hey, that's another thing too, man, because when you're like, again, going back to what kind of audience that you're performing in front of, when you're an independent artist, man, sometimes your gig could be at a nonprofit. It could be at a club. It could be anywhere, man. You know what I'm saying? And so I have songs with a lot of, I ain't gonna say a lot of cuss words. I try to stray away from cuss words so that I don't have to worry about editing that for radio and all of that. So I try to keep cuss words all out together. Sometimes, man, cuss words, nothing's like, some words just don't, it's like, man, nah, man, I gotta say this, man. Like, and so, but with that, if you're in front of a specific audience, man, you have to edit that. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right. Totally understand, man. You talking to a DJ that I did corporate gigs, I did little kids parties, and I'm like, yo, is that the dirty version?
Yeah.
And what's sad? Like, oh man, like, remember the song "Back That Ass Up," right?
Yeah.
Their clean version says "ass" all through the song, right? Yeah. On the record, it says "clean edited version." So I play it, and I played it at a Christian open mic concert.
Oh my God!
But this is when the song was hot, right?
Yeah.
And the sad thing is, I dropped the record and I had to run outside to take a call because I couldn't hear anything.
Oh my God.
Very important call. So everyone's like, where's the DJ? They're saying ass all through. And the set is on stage. So I had to run on stage. I didn't even go to back way. I climbed on the stage and just like I'm dying laughing, but at the same time, like, yo, they're not gonna pay me. I felt so bad because like the church and the choir was.
Oh my!
But they loved the song, so basically, I ripped the record off and just played an instrumental.
Oh my God!
And even an instrumental, you can hear the overdubs, and they're saying back that up, like really quiet. And I was like, oh, let me just stop this song.
Oh,
so
man,
that one hurt back then. Just thought I'll share that story for y'all. That's an inside story right there.
Hey, but you learned, man.
Oh yeah. That's what life's all about, man. Speaking of life, man, I was going to touch on the subject, balancing life, personal life, and music.
Yeah.
We talked about it actually when we drove up to BusyWorks Beats Mastermind. Shout out to BusyWorks Beats, my boy. Yeah, we had a really good conversation about balancing life and music. And you have to balance being an artist and a producer and life.
Yeah,
how do you
absolutely. Time management, man, and utilizing these tools out here, you know. You know, I seek you know, integration in some shape, form, or fashion, and again, kind of just going back to the system that I have in place. So it just really depends on what I'm trying to do for that day. What's effective for me, man, number one is just getting good sleep, and just making sure from a physical standpoint that that I have a nice, you know, healthy balance, not overthinking, you know, or stretching myself, you know, too thin and out, man.
Let's stick on the sleep, because I know a lot of producers, they grind. Hey, shout out to producer grind. They grind so hard. Producers end up doing like 10, 12 hour, 14-hour days.
Yeah.
Not eating right. They just carry out. Maybe they're drinking alcohol, smoking weed, whatever, and not sleeping. Yeah. And they're always reaching for that next placement or whatever, and they're not taking care of their bodies. How important is it to get sleep and to get away from the computer, to walk around? Like how important would you say that is? It's
very, it's like number one priority for me to be effective, not just with music, but even successful professionally in corporate. You know what I'm saying? Like there's still a high level of performance that's required, whether I'm doing that or the other. You know, it's capacity, you know. It's kind of along the lines of the story of there's a book called 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and he uses
heard of it, yeah,
a metaphor of the golden goose or something, a goose that lays golden eggs. And so this farmer has a goose that's laying golden eggs, but he would only lay one, like, you know, I think once a week or something like that. And he ended up finding out the golden eggs was actually worth money, but he wasn't patient enough to wait for the golden egg. So he ends up killing the goose, thinking that he would get all the eggs out, and now he didn't end up having any eggs, you know. So if you're not taking care of, you know, the producer, the ones that's actually the capacity of yourself, or the production capacity, for lack of a better word, you're not going to get out the performance. It goes back to a car. If you're not doing the proper maintenance to it, if you're not taking care of it,
right.
So at some point, it's going to go out on you. You know what I'm saying? So you have to keep up with those oil checks. You got to keep up with the maintenance on the car, so it can actually perform and do what you need it to do. And that goes back to your body, you know, getting that proper sleep, getting healthy meals in, so you can consistently achieve a certain level of performance when you are working. And honestly, man, when you're putting in those kind of hours, man, how much work are you really doing?
Right,
when you're
right.
putting in like 12, 15 hours, like there's been times, man, when I put in those kind of hours and I'm tired and I'm still pushing through, and then I get some sleep, you know, some good sleep, and I get more work done in that first hour or two than I do the whole 15.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? So, you know, it just really depends, man. And for me, it's capitalizing on those moments where I'm energetic, I'm energized, and I'm ready to do it. And, you know, it's you know, really using those moments to my advantage as well, because I don't always feel like producing. I don't always feel like, you know, recording and editing tracks. I enjoy the creative process, but I don't particularly enjoy editing and mixing and all of those different things. They're time consuming. It takes a different side of my brain, and I'm just at a space in my life where it's a bit more. It can even become a bit mundane, when you're dealing with all the technical aspects and even dealing with some of the business things. I enjoy the process as a whole, but I don't really like committing too much time to either for an extended amount of time, to be honest.
Yeah, got you. And what you were mentioning is basically it's called focus time.
Yeah.
It's like you wake up, you got proper amount of sleep, you have this energy ready to create and to be productive and to be focused. So that's focused energy compared to doing 15 hours of unfocused energy.
Yeah, exactly.
Where you're looking at your phone, you're sitting in the studio not doing anything. You don't record anything. I hate sessions like that where I'm like, I want to leave. I could be doing all this other stuff and I'm wasting time here. So totally can relate to that. That's go ahead. That took me years to kind of figure out between the difference of focused time compared to unfocused time. Because some people, I'm grinding, I'm hustling. I'm like, but then I look at, like I have a lot of artists hit me up and I'm like, they're like, yo, work with me. And then I see what they're doing. You got post of your food, post of, I don't know, you're just doing random stuff and you're not focused on what you're saying, you want to do. Yeah. And that kind of, it definitely deters me to even respond to you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Like, what are you working on doing all these hours doing? I don't know, random stuff, washing your car or, just doing memes, reposting memes all day. Yeah. Like if you're a rap artist or recording artist and you just post memes and not one video of you rapping or singing, I'm like, yo, come on, man.
Yeah.
Am I wrong on that?
No. I think you hit it dead on the head, man. It's results. At the end of the day, what type of results are you getting from it? And time, focus time is the only thing we can't get back. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can put money into things, lose money, get it back. But, time is one of those things that we don't get back, And so if I'm not really utilizing that space of time to focus and I'm doing this, that, and the third, no, man, if I'm going to do that, I'd rather just do something else. Maybe I could, call up my mother, or call up my girl, see how she doing, I don't know. I'd rather use that time in a different way if I'm not actually being productive in that moment, man, because once you get into the producer hat, artist hat, all of these different things that you may have going on in your life, time is like a big factor for me, and so I've worked my life in a way as of right now where I'm involved in quite a bit, even outside of music. So yeah, man, time management, bro.
And you work a day job, right?
Yeah, absolutely, man. So I'm into facilities management right now. I work as an operations manager, so I'm like heavily involved into the corporate space. But even that has been advantageous for me, man. I had a conversation with another artist about just really integrating your 9-to-5 skills into, your art or your life as a musicpreneur. We have to manage contracts. We have to look over contracts. Mm-hmm. We have to search out vendors. We have to manage facilities and whatnot. And so, if you have any aspirations of owning some type of studio space or art space or any of those things, there's HVAC in that space. Mm-hmm. There's lights, there's heating, there's all kinds of things. We work with contractors, we hire all kinds of people, whether it's for mixing or whether you're leasing a track. I mean, the terminology or the concept of this whole space are aligns in a certain way where you're kind of working these skills and building these skills in a certain way that actually helps you out, helps me out. Actually as an artist, so yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with that, man. I'm into stocks now. I'm into quite a bit, man. You know, just really just trying to create some opportunities for myself and create the life that I would like to live, whether regardless of how things work out in the music world, I can still become profitable and still get the life that I want, you know.
Mm-hmm. So as far as a day job, I know a lot of the producers that watch this channel and artists. How do you balance your time with your day job and your creative, your musicpreneur is the word you use? I think that was
yeah.
How do you balance the two, like time management wise? Like, do you do one thing one day and the next thing the next day, or do you do like half the day you go 9 to 5 and the next 6 to whatever you do music? Like, how do you do it usually?
Yeah, compartmentalization, man. You know, when I'm working, I'm locked into that work. For me, fortunately, music is therapeutic and it's my escape. So I totally shut that whole side of things off when I'm dealing with the music, and whatnot. So I really don't allow one to pretty much interfere with the other. However, you can get yourself in a space where it can affect the other, and that kind of goes back to making sure that you're getting your proper sleep. Right. Because if you're performing high in this and you have to transition over, so what works better? Sometimes I have to come home and take a 30-minute nap, you know, and that 30-minute nap makes all the difference. It sets the tone for my whole evening, you know, right. To kind of switch gears and get my brain on this side. Another thing is setting my goals for the day. So what am I trying to get accomplished today on the music front, you know? Now, if I'm in recording mode, I'm just in recording mode. So I'm listening to instrumentals on the way to work. I'm thinking of rhymes throughout the day because I don't necessarily need to write. I can just kind of think of things, and you know, if I come up with a hot line that I want to remember, because even if you remember the words, you still need to record it to see how you say it. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, I'll do that when I'm in recording mode.
And you do voice memos, right? You record
it. Absolutely, man. My phone is filled with voice memos, all kinds of things, man. And I do that throughout the whole day. So I'm kind of always, when I'm being creative, I'm kind of always in that space up until the time that I'm actually recording. But outside of that, when I'm not recording, man, I'm kind of choosing what I want to get done that day. And even if let's say that I wanted to record some vocals or some things, but I got home and I'm really not feeling up to it. Well, every session needs to be edited, you know, so let me edit, you know, the things that I do have. Let me go ahead and, you know, get the track set to where it needs to be. Regarding that, is there a tutorial that I need to look at? And so, it just really depends on the actual day, but I'm really big on setting that. And that's whether I was doing it full time or not. So I have days that I just focus on recording for a specific amount of time. And then once I'm out of that recording mode for that 2 weeks. Yeah. Like right now, I'm doing pretty much I'm going to be recording throughout the year, but a large portion of my recording is going on right now for the year. Like, so I'm just like, you know, I'm recording everything that I can possibly think of because I'm in that recording mode.
Awesome. You got a name for the album?
No, I do not. And I'm not even sure if I'm going to release an album. It just really depends, man, of how much content I can actually build up for it. So a part of that is leasing tracks. Mm-hmm. You know, so I go onto DJ Fanatic Beats store, you know, find me some tracks, man. I actually got like 2 or 3 of your songs that I'm working on now.
Awesome, man.
And those
bomb you just dropped. I didn't know.
Yeah, man. And so I work on it. For me, that speeds up when I'm in like artist mode. I don't think along production. I don't care if I made the beat or somebody else made the beat. I'm just trying to make a song, you know, and write. So once I'm in that, man, it's really just all about just being creative and being in that space. And then once I switch gears from that, man, I'm focusing on my website. I'm focusing on the marketing. I'm focusing on all these other things because I only have like a 3-hour window in the afternoon, man. You know, so I try to dedicate 2 to 3 hours every day towards something that I care deeply about, whether that be music, whether that be learning about stocks, whether that be learning about real estate, whatever that thing is, it's locked into that 2 to 3 hour period when I get home.
Got you. Yeah, totally
man.
understand. Yeah. You mentioned a lot. I had a question for you. Oh, so what about that producer or that artist that wants to do this full time, and they're working a day job, but they want to just do this forever, make money with it, like be successful with that creative passion? Like, what advice would you give that viewer, that person that is in the transition of leaving the corporate world and being a creative? Like, what kind of advice, or on your mind, like what can you give them?
I mean, based on the research that I've or the people that I've watched do it, I try to look for commonalities amongst them all, and all of them had a plan, man. They didn't just get up and just leave their situation. They kind of had already something going on, and this is with really any business. You're creating income, and at some point, that income becomes enough to sustain your living. I think a part of that is about the type of sacrifices that you're willing to make as well, because there is a level of sacrifice that comes with that. If it takes what's my man name, Damon John, I think that's his name. He says that it takes, and I've even heard this on the artistic side, but I'll express both. Damon John said it takes 10 to 15 years to get a business off the ground. And then I heard Ninth Wonder, Rhapsody, and I think they even got it from someone else that I've even heard. They said it takes 10 years. 10 years for an artist to before they even see anything, and so it takes time. And so I believe that you can do it. You're just gonna have to be kind of committed to that journey and to that process, and thinking strategically about it and just having a plan in place. And obviously, if you're getting enough income to replace certain things, you can make that transition. But I would not encourage anybody to just give up their livelihood to pursue this, unless they're young. If you're young, living with your mother, your father, you better go for it now. Throw all eggs in one basket and go for it. If that's what you desire. I think the older you get, that's when you need to start not necessarily taking things off the plate, but just pivoting and changing your approach to the business and to becoming fully independent. There's nothing wrong with wanting to do that. I wouldn't necessarily encourage it. Everybody that even gets on, their next move is leveraging that experience, and they're creating products. They're creating relationships with like other brands and whatnot. So that kills me with producers. They look at the Drakes. They want to get on Drake album or want to get on the biggest artist album, and the biggest artist is looking at corporate. They're looking at Pepsi. They're not even looking at you.
Right.
It's artists like me that's looking at you. I'm at the side of their face looking at them. I'm like, man, I'm right here. Like, oh, he's right there or she's right here. So it's like I'm more about promoting collaboration, and starting from the bottom and just working it up,
Yeah, you mentioned shout out to Cash Money AP. That's kind of how he did it, and also Murder Beats. Like they started with artists that weren't the Drakes, that weren't A-list or whatever, and they just kept building with that artist, and then they became the Drake. You know what I mean? Look at Migos. I remember playing the first Migos single. I was like, this is kind of dope. But I was like, what is this? But then over the years, I'm like, yo, they're killing it.
Absolutely.
Whether you like the style or not, it's still a status that they reached that they weren't even close. You know what I'm saying? In the beginning. So the next Drake could be right here on the video. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you never know, man. And at the end of the day, all of this stuff takes money, man. It really takes money to really launch us. Like, if you're really gonna launch a career, man, it takes money, bro. And I've seen mid-level, music consultants like Wendy Day. Are you familiar with Wendy Day?
No.
Oh man, she has you can follow her on Rap Coalition. I've been following her for years. She's a blessing to the hip hop community, bro. She's a blessing to the community.
And what she do?
She's like a music consultant, but she markets. She's into quite a few things. But right now, she has a series for like artists and producers. She's giving out advice. Normally, people, you know, on my level or just independents, we can't afford her. She's even said that she doesn't even know how to even work an artist with, you know, with a budget lesser than $100,000. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that's like working within a region. Like, it takes money to really do this thing, you know? I mean, if you're gonna really do it. And so it takes time. So that's why I wouldn't necessarily encourage anybody to just focus on this full-time, right? Like, I don't know. Like, I believe in diversification. You know, how can you diversify your skill set, diversify your portfolio, just think a little bit broader. If you're gonna be a music artist, fine, that's great. But, you know, that's music licensing opportunities. You know, that's digital products that you can create for yourself. There's other things that you can do within the business without dedicating yourself exclusively to just being an artist. Because at the end of the day, the artist is the last one that kind of makes serious money out of it. You know, there's so many different ways and things that you can take.
And connecting with big brands too.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So, you know, I don't knock nobody that wants to do that. I think it's great. I think it's courageous. I just think when you get older, like, what's your boy name? Black, you know, the R&B singer.
Oh yeah.
His lowest point in his life, he was considering, you know, eating out of a trash can, and he knew that he had to make a change. He didn't actually do it, but he got down that low. And I see all of these struggle stories, man. I mean, struggling, man. And
how old is he? How old is Black?
He's a little older now, but, you know, during the time
mid-30s. Not that old.
I don't know. He may be like lower 30s now. You know,
okay.
He's been out for a while. He's definitely probably late 20s, but he's somewhere in that age range, man. And I just get tired of seeing these struggle stories, man, of people really going through a lot of changes and making these sacrifices to get on it. And it's great. It works out for some, but for the most, it doesn't. If you think about the number of people that's involved or that's into music or that's into production, the likelihood of them becoming the Timberland and these things is slim. But you can become a Ryan Leslie or some of these other guys that's being successful independently with just creating a business model, you know, around what they do. You may not be making, you know, the buku money, but you're making enough to live on, or you're making some passive income. You know, there's not one way to success, you know. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, definitely. I agree. Like, some people set their minds on a specific goal.
Yeah.
And there's something like bubbling underneath that they don't realize. And this is like your natural talent that people gravitated to. Yeah. Like, they could be making a lot of money from it, but they don't see it. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes when you're set to a certain destination, there's many outcomes that can happen. Especially as a creative, because it's creative energy. But what I was gonna say, let's flip it back on the producer side. What DAW do you use?
Man, for recording vocals, Pro Tools.
Hey, I remember those days.
You say it again?
I remember those days.
Yeah, recording vocals and whatnot, man. Pro Tools, but production, I'm all in Machine right now, man.
Okay, cool.
And honestly, once they make it so where you can record like a full-fledged, you know, multi-track, you can record vocals into it now, but not in the same capacity of like a regular like Pro Tools session, you know. But once they get into like multi-tracking and I can do all of that, I'm probably gonna fully convert over to the Machine, to be honest.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
I didn't know you can record audio vocals into their software.
Yeah, you can, but not like, I mean, it's like more like sampling.
Okay, like audio byte, like.
Yeah. So you're not like full-fledged, you know. But once it becomes a full-fledged DAW, I'm going over, man, because the way that I can generate ideas and, you know, it's my process a lot more quicker and faster.
Right.
With the Machine. So
yeah, I'm sure they're working on that right now, because at this point they need to, you know.
Absolutely.
That's big money.
Yeah.
That's a big market.
I know it's coming, man. You know, they're still kind of early with the versions and whatnot, but oh my God, it's going to be a game changer what they do, man. Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah, with these interviews, my mind is always running because I got so many questions. What books do you recommend? Because you mentioned a lot in the video, like for...
Yeah, man. Right now, I would recommend The Proximity Principle. I'm currently reading that. It's by Ken Coleman. I love the book, or the idea of the book, because it's pretty much something that I've tried to apply or have applied. I think it's conceptualized my experience as an artist to date, and not just as an artist, as a, you know, as a manager, or as somebody who works a 9 to 5 and does so many things. It's been advantageous. And that's
what's it called?
The Proximity Principle.
Okay.
And it's pretty much the idea of it is connecting with those things, people, places, or whatever it is that's in proximity to what you're trying to do or become.
Got you. Okay.
And it's actionable. It's something that you can immediately apply. It's not all theory. It's really actionable, practical. It's conceptualized the whole experience from start to finish into to being or getting the thing that you want. And I would recommend that to anybody that's definitely they're at a stage in their life where they're not necessarily doing what they desire to do right now, or they're in the process of doing that. It's a wonderful book, and I haven't even finished it yet, but I would definitely recommend The Proximity Principle.
I'm about to read that. Yeah.
By Ken Coleman, man. Highly Effective People, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. It's an old book by Stephen Covey. I would recommend. There's so many books I would recommend, man. That's been impactful, but I would definitely say The Proximity Principle. That's my latest.
Okay.
Coleman. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out. That sounds good. Because I know you're a deep dude, so I figured you had some good recommendations for the audience.
Yeah, man.
Milestones. What would you say is the biggest milestone you had as an artist?
Man, as of late, man, I'm gonna be honest with you. My biggest milestone for me is I'm finally consistent on social media, bro.
Hey.
You know, man, that was not an easy thing for me, man.
Yeah, I peeped your stuff.
Yeah, man, and like I've been I ended up watching this other guy. I forgot his name. The guy who created. You ever seen the God is Dope t-shirts?
Yeah.
He decided to be an artist for 3 months just to try it out, and he was trying all of these you know, marketing strategies and whatnot just to see what would work. Yeah. And he would pretty much tell you his process that he used, the budget that he used to get it, man. And it was pretty remarkable, man. So right now I'm just trying to be more consistent with triggering the algorithms, really just kind of engage in building my content. Because honestly, man, I at the time I really didn't have enough, and even now I really don't have a whole lot of content for people to consume. So I don't even really give people a great opportunity to even really become a huge fan, because I don't have a lot of, my catalog is just isn't deep enough.
Yeah, you gotta have the catalog. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like I get a fan and then I don't have any other content for them to even consume. You know, and so I wanted to be consistent in that, just being consistent on social media, man. And so for me, that was a big milestone, because it's been a struggle for me for quite a while. And also just having a system in place that I feel I can actually keep up with, grow, and whatnot. So for me, that's probably my biggest milestone right now.
Yeah, shout out your IG again, just in case somebody just jumped in the video now.
Idemiah, man. Idemiah, IDEMIAH, on Instagram. You'll find me on there. You know, I'm pretty active. If you have any questions, anything, my website, demaya.com. I'm still working on it right now, but you can sign up to my newsletter. You'll get all the latest music, any hot merch that I'm releasing. You'll get that as well. So yeah, man, you know, let's connect and build, you know.
Yeah, man, we should definitely get some vocal packs on here too if you want to work something out. You know, I'm for it, seriously.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna take you up on that, man.
Yeah, I'm around, man. I'm a man of my word, bro.
Yeah, I know you are, man.
I said it on video.
and you've proved it even privately, man. You know what I'm saying? You've definitely been one of the few producers that I've met, and artists, that's just people in general, man, in that space. You have a level, you bring a level of integrity to it that that's not so common sometimes, man. And so
I appreciate that, man.
No problem.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate that.
Yes,
so biggest milestone as an artist ever. What was something that you're like, yo, I did that, or it made you feel good? Was it, whether it was a performance or taking a picture with a fan or someone buying your album? As an artist, what was something that you really appreciated and you were like, thank you? You know, you got a really good feeling at it. I know I'm hitting you with some serious questions.
No, it's okay, man. Honestly, man, one thing that almost, I ain't gonna say it didn't break me, but I was definitely like, oh man, like, so I have this song called Okay. And when I initially dropped it, the response was pretty awesome and whatnot. And you know, you drop these songs, man, you don't really think about how they're impacting people and whatnot, man. But I ended up receiving a few DMs and even personal comments face to face about the impact that the song had, you know, in their life. Mm-hmm. And one person in particular, man, and I had thought about asking them, could I post it on social media, but it was so deep. I was like, nah, you know, I just let it rock. But it was definitely like a moment for me. They were going through like a little situation in their life. I ain't gonna say a little situation, a big situation. Mm-hmm. And them actually listening to the song, man, actually impacted them so much, man, that they said they was crying, and you know, I'm not sure what all the details of their situation, but it sounded pretty deep because it was like a lengthy email.
Right. Was it DM or email?
Yeah. And I was like, wow, like, and I've gotten it on a few occasions, specifically on that song, where it connected, you know, emotionally to others, man. So for me, it was like, man, like, this thing is really bigger than music, you know. Right. I'm not just doing this for me. This is really to help others become their greater selves or get through, you know, their situation, you know. And the whole time I created it for me, you know, really.
Right. Yeah, I mean, we're all human. We all go through stuff. We all have feelings. We all have thoughts. And what happened was what you were feeling when you wrote it connected with what they were going through at that time. Was it something like that was uplifting? You said It's Okay. That was the name of the song?
The name of the song was Okay. And I collaborated actually with my cousin. She's an awesome singer. Her name is Kiwi. She's not on IG or anything like that. But I definitely have some other songs with her as well. And so the song itself, I'm kind of dealing with a number of things, man. In it, you know, there's even specific lines, you know, sometimes you can drop a little nugget and you kind of move on to the rest of the concept of the song, man. But it's a really impactful song, man, and heartfelt, and I'm definitely excited about and happy about the responses that I've gotten from that particular track. And I've heard other things about other songs, but that one in particular, man, I had no idea that it would have that type of emotional connection, you know.
And sometimes songs, like, you got to pay attention when you get those type of responses from people, because that song is speaking volumes when you start getting responses like that. And you know what you can do is tie that song with, like, remember Nashville had a horrible tornado that kind of tore through the city, and I just came back from Nashville. It's crazy. Shout out to all the families out there. Hopefully, you know, y'all are picking things up, and blessings to y'all. So like, and also what was the other thing, that the virus, you know, it's going crazy, man. So
yeah,
you can tie specific things like this song to current events, and that'll be, you know, it'll catapult you as an artist. You know what I mean? Because you can repurpose it. You know, that's just a free one I'm giving you right now.
Yeah, I think you hit it dead on the head, man. You know, repurposing it, and that, you know, I'm glad you even said that, man, because there's always people that have that. I mean, you know, I'm still growing, man. Even though I created that record, you know, a while ago, man. There's a lot of people that still have not heard. Most people have not heard it. You know what I'm saying? And so there's still that opportunity to gain a new connection, man. And so I'm glad you said that, and I would definitely take heed to that, bro.
Yeah. Is it on YouTube or?
Yeah, it's on YouTube. I ended up creating like a lyric video for it, which I'm gonna post on Instagram as well. But yeah, I have a lyric. It's on my album. You can get it on Spotify, SoundCloud. Even if you go to my website, I even have like a little little music player with the bottom that you can even go to listen to it. So I have that. That's available like everywhere right now.
All right, folks. The song is called "Okay." Make sure y'all check that out.
Absolutely.
So there's something else I was going to ask. Okay, as a producer,
yes, sir.
What is a major accomplishment you had as a producer? Because a lot of the viewers are producers for the channel, but I kind of market it both ways, producer and artist. So, but as a producer, what would you say is a major accomplishment or a milestone for you?
As a producer,
because I know you've been leaning a lot more towards being an artist.
Yeah, I would say, because for me, when I hear producer, man, I'm thinking of my AV hat, you know, because I'm mixing and
engineer,
stuff too. Yeah. So
that could be one, because you are producing content. I mean, producer can be so broad, you know, and
yeah.
People tend to limit themselves with words. I'm not gonna go too deep with words.
Yeah.
But you can be an engineer or a producer. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Honestly, man, I would say producing my first album a few years ago. That was definitely a milestone for me because we mixed it, produced it. My brother, Savin NC, he goes by that name on Instagram. We ended up producing it. Actually, it was this album. It was actually and
nice.
Though the production wasn't, looking back on them, like, I was just a lot of things that I would do different. However, man, I was proud that we were actually able to do that, mix that ourselves, and actually put it out. We ended up pressing up T-shirts, man, and everything. So it's like we really saw an idea that started off in our head, saw that thing through from start to finish, man. You know what I'm saying? That was definitely a milestone. And actually, just seeing some money online, man, from these things, man. You put all of this time into creating these products and these albums and whatnot, and and then digital downloads and different things, T-shirts, whatever I'm trying to sell, and then you look into the account, it's like, oh man, like it's some money in there, like
they bought it.
Yeah,
let's go out to eat.
Yeah, you go out to eat. Like, hey, like that's wrong menu. Like, look, you order from this menu, not.
I totally got you.
And that's what I actually did, man. During that particular time when I was actually selling that project, man, I just took, the people that helped me out, I took them out to eat. But the money I made, what I'm saying? So
it's a great feeling. Yeah.
And even my last project, man, I haven't even spent anything from that. I just kind of just kept it in there and paid the taxes on it. Just so when I do pull it out, I'm not out here looking crazy, but yeah, man, that is a rewarding feeling to create something and then sell it, and somebody brings value, has put value on what you're doing. From a monetary standpoint, that feels good.
Yeah, definitely, man. Like, not many people can say, I produced my own album, I engineered my own album, and I performed on my album. Not many people can do that, Yeah,
man. Yeah.
And to get people to appreciate it, that speaks volumes, man. That's awesome. Congrats on that.
I appreciate that, man. And that kind of goes back, like I was saying, diversifying your skill set. These things cost money. It costs money to have somebody mix your stuff. It costs money to market these things, to come up with the graphic design and these different things, man. So we kind of do these and develop these skills out of necessity. And it becomes a thing. And okay, well, I do have a skill to do this. How can I help someone else? Just like we were just talking about video editing earlier, you know, right, I'm into video editing as well. So it's like, you know what, you know, I know that video is a big thing right now, you know, and so, you know, a part of my collaboration with another artist or producer, just like we were discussing earlier, may not be in the form of music. Maybe it's in the form of, look, man, you need some edits. I got you, you know, or you know, or whatever, how that may look, you know, we're all in it together, you know, so yeah.
Yeah. Are you on BeatStars?
I'm on BeatStars. I don't have any content up there specific to like beats and different things like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I will be getting that up and running definitely, hopefully by the end of this quarter, which is coincidentally ends this month. Yeah. So probably second quarter, man.
So you're doing the free account now, right? The free account. You're doing the free account that's on there?
Yeah, because I'm definitely not paying for it because I'm not using it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I got a link to a free month of the pro account if that's, you know, if you're interested.
Absolutely.
And also all those that are watching, that link is in the description as well. You get the first month free, and it's a pro account. So it's the highest tier one. So you can sell stuff and you can create services. So let's say you want to do video editing services, and make whatever your price package is, sell it to whoever. So
that's hot.
Yeah, it's dope. That way you're doing what you enjoy and the customer is getting what, you know, quality work.
Yeah.
It's a win-win.
Yeah. Absolutely, man. And I actually built that video skill with doing work for my job, man. You know, like
there you go. See,
you know, like so man.
What are you using to? You mentioned Bandcamp for distribution for artists. Was that the only thing that you're using right now? Is it working for you?
Well, that's one of the platforms. I use DistroKid primarily as my distributor, but I'm on, you know, Spotify, pretty much everything. Bandcamp though allows me to see that money a little bit more sooner. So it's not in the form of a stream. It's a straight up digital download. So I'd rather people go to Bandcamp. Like if you really want to contribute to what I'm doing, Bandcamp for any artist, not just for me, for any artist would be more ideal. Unless you're going through Google Play, I think that's digital download, iTunes, but people use Apple Music these days, and streams are great as well. But when you don't have a lot of followers, that digital downloads that's really, you know, where your money comes in as far as music online. Got you.
Are you registered with a PRO?
Yeah, I'm with BMI right now, man.
Cool.
Say it again.
I said cool.
Yeah, that's man. Good. So I'm kind of exploring things, even with DistroKid, because you know, Steve Stout started United Masters.
You're right. Yeah.
SoundCloud started some things, started a service as well. So I'm kind of, a part of me is inclined to try SoundCloud because I think I just read, I got a recent email that says 67% of my fans are on SoundCloud. So I kind of want to test that data to see what type of engagement I can get out of that. And I'm just interested or wondering from a distribution standpoint if I allow that to be from SoundCloud and they're tracking that data, because I'm not sure if DistroKid actually tracks your actual streaming and those things on SoundCloud.
I don't think SoundCloud's one of them on DistroKid. But you're talking about streaming royalties, right?
Yeah,
SoundCloud streaming royalty, right?
Yeah, and so if 67% of my fans are on SoundCloud, I'm not gonna see that money. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna see any of that. I have the data, but I'm not gonna see any of it. So I'm wondering if switching over and making SoundCloud my distributor, would that be of use, like an advantage or useful for me or not? So I don't know.
I think you should do both, bro, to be honest, because I always had, like, you know, through the journey, everyone's thinking, should I do this or this?
Yeah.
Just doing both. Because I think DistroKid it doesn't distribute on SoundCloud. So that's probably why SoundCloud's doing their own thing.
Yeah.
Because like, you know, the streaming revenue or whatever, 67% is pretty high. So I would definitely, that's where your audience is. Go for it, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it may change, you know, like next year might be something else. And you're like, that's just weird. That's the weird part of business. You're like, now it's on TikTok. I only posted 2 videos on that thing.
And the crazy thing is TikTok they're creating their own streaming service.
I figured they would.
Yeah, and then I heard that may take out Spotify. I don't know, man. I'm not really familiar with TikTok like that, but I definitely created an account just to lock down my name on there. And look, any artist, producer, if a platform drops, whether you use the platform or not, just go ahead and create an account just to lock down your name. Whether you use it or not, just go ahead and lock down your name, especially if it's like something common. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that way, if you do decide to use it at any given time, you don't have to worry about, you know, I don't know, coming up with some elongated username on the platform.
Yeah. Good advice, man. Did you have any stories or any advice you want to share before we wrap this up? Like,
no, man. I think we covered a lot, man. Within this, man. So I just appreciate you giving me the opportunity, man, for us to have this discussion. And the crazy thing is, our conversations are like this, whether it's on camera or off, man. That's the dope thing about it, you know. And so I appreciate the opportunity, man. And proximity principle, man. Pick up that book. If you haven't had that, I want to start doing book reviews on IG as well, man, because I'm actually into reading now quite a bit. So that's where we at.
Yeah, man, definitely appreciate you joining me, you know, on the video. Really appreciate you, all the things you were sharing too, man.
Yes, sir.
I know people are going to get value out of this video, and I know you're going to have producers hitting you up in your DM. So
yeah, the crazy thing is, man, every time I drop like some dope stuff, I do, I get like, 2 or 3 producers, maybe more than that sometimes, man, that are like load me with like beat packs and whatnot, man. And which is great because it's like, it's like that kind of lessens the search. You already know my sound. So you're only going to be sending me stuff that I rock with. You know what I'm saying? Which
they should do. Some just throw you stuff, but some actually listen and then give you related stuff. So.
Yeah. And that's another way to, you may earn a new customer. You know what I'm saying? Like that. I mean, I've purchased a lot of beats with just people sending them to me. Look, I think you sound great on that. And I'm like, yeah, I think so too. Like,
right. Yeah. Just send that my way. Yeah, totally got you, man. Well, for my viewers out there, if you haven't subscribed, please click the sub button. Click the bell as well so you're alerted to more new videos such as this. You get some more sauce, more dope interviews. And also, speaking of sauce, for all my producers, there's links to loops. There's a free loop pack in there. There's a free month on BeatStars, also a discounted distro kit as well. So there's a lot of links in the description. Make sure you holler at those. And yeah, man, any last words before I stop the recording?
No, man. Look, this is what it's about, bro. You know what I'm saying? This is what it's about. I'm just excited about the things that's going on in your life right now, man. You're killing it, bro. You're killing it. And you're definitely an inspiration to me and probably others as well, to be honest, man. So please know this for sure, bro, that regardless of how many likes or whatever the thing looks like, bro, you're leaving an impact. You have made an impact on this community, man, especially in the DMV and definitely for myself, man. So keep doing what you're doing, bro.
Love, man. I really appreciate that, man.
Yes, sir.
Made my year so far, man. Appreciate it. I'm glad somebody listening to me.
Yeah. Hey, man, definitely, bro. Definitely.